Yeah, the sense with our emotions of being open is it's this sense of flow we've been talking about, right? It's this sense that your emotions are rising up in a natural way. This is that sense of naturally communicating with yourself. So I'm naturally communicating with my emotions. You know, what does that mean? And it means it's like this signal that's coming in. We walk into a room and there's somebody there that I don't know. So I have to meet somebody. I wasn't expecting that. And there's a little startle reflex. It's not necessarily a problem. It's not necessarily anything I need to shut down. In fact, it's just important. It's important information. Oh, I don't know this person. I need to meet this person. It's how we orient ourselves to our environment. Our emotions are as much a part of our sensory apparatus as anything. It's like another sense. It's like a sixth sense that allows us to navigate. We don't just walk through our lives like automatons.
Right. We
care about our experience, and the sense of openness that we're talking about is actually valuing and listening to that, being willing to listen to that sense of care. And it takes us out of our head, right? I mean, it's like, particularly maybe in a lot of our training, academic training, school or whatever, you get taught how to be in your head in a really sometimes in really good ways, but sometimes we don't actually listen to that signal.
Yeah, that's really helpful. I sometimes think of the image of a seismograph, that there's literally the emotional field is continuously giving us information that is sensitive and totally attuned to the present moment. And one of the things that I think is really, really important about this work and the origins of this work coming from contemplative rather than conventional psychology is that in our normal way of thinking, we conflate the emotions that have to do with past and future with the emotions of the present moment. And it's a whole new field of study, but it's really, really important to recognize that what we call this kind of green light or awake or attuned heart is the knowing, the emotional knowing that's related to the present moment. And that's how sensitive this seismograph is. So you walk into the room, you see the stranger, and at first that seismograph does a flutter of nervousness, and then you choose to lean into the relationship, and then there's this kind of discovery of joy, or maybe there's an intelligent sense of needing to back away.
Yeah.
All of that information is coming if we know how to listen to that emotional seismograph, that attunement. And a lot of the time we're walking into situations with preordained opinions that not only block that ability to know, but create alternative secondary emotions of prejudice, anger, reactivity, paranoia, arrogance, comparative.
Yeah.
And they block the wisdom of the present moment. That's where mindfulness comes in. If you really get into knowing what mindfulness is, it brings us back to the very natural communication system of the present moment, which is really different than carrying in reactions and habits from the past and placing them on the present, which blocks it, or having so much anticipation about the future that we block it. So there's a lot to be said about the different ways. So we talk about green light emotions, which is this natural, where we come back to, what we learn to come back to. And then we have red light emotions, which are these frozen reactive patterns which hurt us and others.